Thank you, Senator Mulvaney, for taking the time to do an interview about the sovereignty bill, S424. I'd like to ask you a few questions. First off, what is the healthcare amendment to S424, otherwise known as the sovereignty resolution?
Jonathan, the amendment that we put up last week that I wrote that got approved earlier today essentially is a statement of intent by the state of South Carolina that says that we don't approve of and don't like what the federal government is getting ready to do with health care, that we think it violates the 9th and 10th Amendments, essentially an unfunded mandate. It's an overreaching of federal authority and an infringement upon our ability to run our own state.
All right. And why do you support this amendment?
Well, because I believe in the 9th and 10th Amendments, and I happen to disagree with this most recent federal overreaching. I gave a speech for about an hour and a half on Wednesday, I believe it was, and ran down the examples of the things that the federal government forces down our throats that have traditionally been within the realm of what the state does. The state, for example, traditionally would set its own drinking age. The state would make its own laws on texting while you drive, and the federal government has taken those things from us. Several years ago, they forced us to raise our drinking age in order to keep our road money. This year, they're going to force us to ban texting in driving, while driving, in order to keep our road money. And whether or not you agree or disagree with the outcomes of those particular state bills, the long and the short of it is that those were forced on us by the federal government. I think in the past, folks haven't cared that much about it because they've been fairly innocuous things. Well, now it's getting ready to happen with health care, one of the most personal decisions that you can make in 20% of our economy. And I think enough people have finally gotten to the point where they think enough is enough, and it's time to start pushing back.
All right. And what will happen if both the amended version of the sovereignty resolution and the federal health care bill are passed?
If only those two things pass, and the federal health care bill will trump what we're doing today. What we're doing today is really the first step of a several-step process, as we'll seek now to try and amend the South Carolina Constitution in order to guarantee the rights that are set forth in this resolution. And we believe that if we can do that, if we can grant these rights through our Constitution, that in fact may trump the federal law, and we may protect ourselves against the federal mandates.
All right. And do you feel other states will pass similar bills with regards to health care and federal pieces of legislation?
Absolutely. In fact, I think, and don't quote me on the number, I believe somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 18 states have already approved a similar resolution and now working on amending their constitution just as I laid out.
All right. And how would the passage of this resolution affect the lives of everyday South Carolinians?
And again, the resolution by itself, very little. With the exception of a statement of our intent. And sometimes that's important. Sometimes words and thoughts do matter. And to that extent, I think South Carolina residents can wake up tomorrow knowing that this is important to us as lawmakers, that this is on our radar, that we will seek to protect them from these types of federal mandates. The real change will come, however, when we go to the folks, go to the people in the state and seek to amend our Constitution as I've discussed.
All right. And any concluding remarks?
No, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks so much for your time, sir.
All right.